Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast Live. Yes. So as you can see, my main man G's not here with me. He had a death in the family, so please send all your love, all your prayers towards him.
Condolences and love, G. Condolences and love.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we make sure we do that, but in his stead, I have a worthy substitute. Got my main man Brian Transform. B, what's good?
What's good, my guy? What's good?
Nothing much, man. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's wait a couple minutes, see if we can get a couple people in the chat. Hopefully, we get some people popping up, and then we can go ahead and kick it. But before we get to that, man, we had some good talk prior to the show popping off, so can't wait to share some of our thoughts with our viewers and listeners. And yeah, we got some good stuff lined up. Gonna talk Patrick Ewing. So normally, in case you didn't know, normally I do a Throwback Thursday segment, but obviously this past Thursday was 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Yeah, this past Thursday was 4th of July, so I wasn't able to, I guess I shouldn't say wasn't able to. I didn't do a segment for Throwback Thursday, and we didn't do a show on Wednesday as we often do. Had some different stuff going on, but I'm here tonight, so we're gonna slide that Patrick Ewing in for Throwback Thursday on the first segment, and then we'll go from there, and we will talk we'll talk Paul George and him getting that max. I guess him signing for the max with 76ers, and then we'll talk about Klay Thompson, end of an era, no longer a Splash Brother. I guess he'll always
that's different,
right?
Man. That's
very different.
Wild, man.
Yeah, so we'll talk about him in a new uniform in Dallas, how that affects the Mavs, what we see, how that affects the Western Conference, how that affects your Lakers.
No, let's not dive into that. It's too soon.
Okay. Oh, we got to talk about it. Right. And we're gonna talk about the biggest story in sports: LeBron James and his son Bronny, who coincidentally made his his summer league debut today, and it didn't go too well. But I'm not.
Yeah, it was bad.
You know what though?
You can tell it was timid. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. We'll definitely talk about it. All that comes into it. That LeBron and Bronny thing, that's going to be a serious topic. We got some good stuff there to really get into.
All season.
Yeah, man. So before we get started, let me ask you, bro. I see you got a hat on, it says Lakers, and it says champion. So is that your in-season tournament champion?
You need me to zoom in a little bit?
That's your in-season tournament championship?
Nah.
I'm saying y'all hanging banners for that. So I'm just saying.
Hey man, so we're just promoting what the NBA is giving us.
Oh, that's what
the
it is.
NBA wanted to create something. And the Lakers, man, we just got to be the first to do something. You know what I mean?
Oh, y'all got to be the first to do something.
Yeah, got to be the first one. Like, as long as you hear in-season tournament for the rest of your life, the Lakers got the first one.
You know what? I respect that. I do.
You got the first one.
That was the best answer I ever heard on that BS. That was good. That was good. You know what, though? You're right. And I respect being the first one to something. I do. Because the Celtics are the first one to get to 18 world championships. So, I figured I would, so I totally understand and respect what it is to be to be the first one to do something in NBA history. You know what I'm saying?
It's good, man. You got like 12 of them back when
we're not talking about all that, man. We're not talking about any of that.
Got it. I got you, brother.
Hey man, look, somebody had to set the tone for the NBA and what it would become and where it would go, and that's us. Okay. So I'm good with that,
Okay, Bill Russell out here bullying freaking mailmen and stuff like that, and you.
Hey man,
you want to go ahead, clap?
Hey man, I'm just saying. Quick side note. It's funny that you brought up the Bill Russell piece. So many fans and proponents of the modern NBA talk about how much better the athletes are today versus back then, right? And I've always pushed back on that because I think there's elite athletes in any era, right? It's just a function of today's athletes have the benefit of technology, right? Sports medicine, science, sports science, nutrition, all those things, right? You know that as well as anybody, being a trainer like you are. So you know about all the amazing things that are available to modern athletes that weren't available back then. Anyway, I bring that up because you mentioned Bill Russell, and I thought I just wanted to throw it out there. When Bill Russell left college in 1956, he was the number 7 ranked high jumper on earth.
Wow, really?
Yeah. People don't realize Bill Russell was a freak, right? It's just he was a dude whose team didn't necessarily ask him to score that much. Bill Russell was a freak, though.
Wow, like number 7.
Number 7, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So he went to the Olympics for basketball. Matter of fact, him and Jerry West played on the same Olympic team in Sydney, and they won the gold. And he could have, he could have been a track and field guy in the Olympics as well.
At the same time.
I'm trying to tell you.
That would have been legendary.
That would have been legendary. So this whole business of, the athletes back then were, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Now, was he an outlier? Probably.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you can't tell me that you had more athletes back then that could have made the Olympics team than now.
Mm-hmm. No, I'll agree with you on that. I'll agree with you on that. Let's take a quick breather right here, and y'all know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't wait.
Man, it's been a pleasure being on the podcast tonight. Let you let this roll on your own.
So this I put LeBron and Bronny here, right? On the thumb and on the rundown. But I think, oh man, there's so much to this, man. It's like one of the first things is, man, what the hell are the Lakers doing? Like, in all seriousness, what are they doing?
Pissing me off. You want an honest answer?
Yeah,
pissing me off. Okay?
I love it. Let's go.
They're pissing me off. I'm upset. I'm flabbergasted. I'm led astray. I'm bamboozled. I'm ran over.
Run amok.
I'm tired. My tread on my tires is running thin.
All right.
I need to change.
So tell us why. Tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad.
Man, front office can't get it together. We're giving 40-year-olds $50 million a year. But what's really going on, man? What are we doing? Like,
I can answer that for you in all seriousness. I can answer that for you very succinctly. And this is all honesty. So wait, before I even get to that, right? A couple of things I want to say to make sure that I'm clear. So first, obviously, you're a Laker guy, respect due. I am a Celtics guy. We have hatred for each other as intense basketball rivals, no question. That said,
I mean that from the heart.
Facts. That said, both organizations, I truly believe, respect one another for their greatness as the two greatest organizations in the NBA. I really believe that. And as much as, Larry and Magic hated each other on the floor, we know they respect each other, right?
Absolutely. Best
right.
buds off the court.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. So these guys, they know it, but now they'll cut each other's throat to try and win, as it should be, right? Because that's what the great ones do. So let me get that out of the way. Enough respect due to the Lakers. I never want to see them win, but I respect them as an organization.
Likewise.
Facts. All right, next up. I believe that's me. Get on the mic for the symphony. All right. But I want to also make it clear. I'm sure that some people are going to say that I'm hating on Bronny James when we have this discussion. So I want to make it clear. It's first of all, it's sad that first with LeBron, now with Bronny, we always have to do this qualifier before we talk about these guys and give any criticism. That's disturbing, but it is what it is. So let me be clear that I have no issue with Bronny James whatsoever. I do think that he's a hardworking kid. I think that it was his dream to go to the NBA. How he got there, I don't like it, and we'll get to that, of course. But at the end of the day, I don't think all of what's going to befall him is his fault. And I've said this from jump, that this is about LeBron, not about Bronny. And we'll get more into that. But everything, again, we know that LeBron is very good in terms of playing the long game. And when he put it out into the ether or out into the whatever, a few years ago, that he wants to play with his sons, he knew where that would lead. He knew where that would lead. This guy doesn't say things happenstance. He doesn't do things randomly. That's not him. He's very good. Him and his team are outstanding when it comes to playing the long game. So I get that, right? Let's see. You know what, Snead? I feel you because you're a rational person. It isn't hating on Bronny to evaluate his game and see glaring weaknesses undeserving of a roster spot on an NBA team. I feel you. You're a rational person, but we know that there are many people who are going to go into attack mode in the comments. Whether I don't know about now, but when this show posts and they watch it back, and they, some of y'all who rock with me outside of this show have seen some of these crazy comments that I get from the LeBron
fans. Hey, I'll be defending LeBron, but some of the boys, I'll be like, whoa, all right, there goes the door, I'm about to use it.
Right. So again, let me just make sure that I'm very clear about this. I have no issue with Bronny. I wish the young man all the success that he can have, and I hope things work out for him. Again, I will also be clear, I don't like the way that it started off. Now, again, you're my guest, B, my co-host. So I'm gonna let you talk first about your thoughts on what's going on, whether it's JJ Redick and his nonsense and him lying to us and playing us all like we're stupid, or whether it's how Bronny got into the league, or whether it's your thoughts on LeBron and what he is doing to your beloved franchise. Talk to me, man.
Top to bottom. We don't know what we're doing.
Look at that comment.
Only way niggas gonna stop playing.
Oh, Nick, that's classic.
You about to be in timeout too. You and Dominique, boy, y'all about to be in timeout. Y'all need to be putting time out, man.
Oh y'all my gosh. Okay. All right. Yeah. But, go ahead, B. My bad. I'm sorry.
Top to bottom. Oh. We don't know what we're doing right now. And I saw the writing on the wall 2 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. And I didn't want to come to grips with it because I knew that we still had a shot. You still got two of the best 15 or top 20 players in the NBA.
True.
Put the pieces around them. Let's make a run. We did that when we ran up against Denver the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Ran up against Denver in the Western Conference Finals. I'm like, okay, right. Cool. The very next step was for us to get a big or just ticker the roster just a little bit.
So you could win the in-season tournament?
Negative. To be formidable for Denver, right? We did none of that last year.
Okay.
There was a glaring weakness for us to like. Our whole goal was to beat Denver. We wasn't worried about nobody but Denver. As far as a best of 7, we could have beat Minnesota. We could have beat Dallas. We could have beat all those guys because when it comes to 7 games, you wasn't outmatching the talent of LeBron and Anthony Davis. You just wasn't. They know how to put it together. But Luka has our number. That man has our number. Not Luka, Joker. Joker. My bad. Jokic. Yeah. My bad. I said the wrong name. Jokic has our number. Michael Porter Jr. can shoot out of this world for some odd reason when he's playing the Lakers. You know what I mean? Like everything seems to be clicking. Jamal Murray turns into a freaking hot shot. So at that moment, we had one job: get the big enough to move AD to the 4 and just body and just bother Jokic. Rondo saw it. Your point guard from the Boston Celtics, also a Laker champion, by the way. He won this one. Thank you, Rondo.
I really don't like that, man. I gotta tell you,
Rondo.
I don't like that at all.
But Rondo, like immediately after I said this, I saw a podcast with Rondo on it, and he said literally the exact same thing. What they did against Luka, I mean, I keep saying Luka, the name just rolling off the tongue so easy. We just bashed him for like 20 minutes. Jokic doesn't like to be bothered. When you can bother him and you can just tussle with him the same way Embiid and them boys do, he backs out and he's like, okay, look, I'm not going to sit here and battle in the paint. I don't like that. And I think that's the move that we should have made. Yet we just went in a direction to where it's like, what are we doing? We went to go grab Westbrook, and now we're getting D'Lo. We're trying that experiment. Like, what are we doing? Like, what is our identity? Let's find it. And
you don't have an identity. You sold your soul to LeBron. Real talk. And I know, you're a LeBron hater, but the fact is, we know that Jeannie Buss said she's on wax saying that her whole goal is to make LeBron happy, right? They want to keep LeBron happy. They sold their soul. Every move they're making is about LeBron and what he wants, and you can see it. What we got? This is why Magic quit. They gave him a job he couldn't do with the approval of 5 different people. LeBron. Wow. Yeah, that's a fact.
I think we touched on that last time.
Yeah, we did. We did.
We touched on
absolutely.
That. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, Jokic is a guy can't run, jump, or dunk the ball. Literally gets out of breath at half court. But Lakers can beat Minnesota, who basically swept Denver. Yeah, it's weird, man. Matchups and matchups.
Yeah, it's the matchup, brother. It's the matchup. Completely the matchup. AD kills Cat every time. Every time. Nobody on that Minnesota lineup was guarding LeBron. Nobody on that Minnesota lineup. It was just gonna be a wash. Like we do it every year. Like Minnesota was not a threat to us. Denver was, because Denver had the shooting, they had the center, Jokic. When Michael Porter Jr. was just airing the thing out, I'm just like, yo, what?
Yeah.
And the next series, he had like he couldn't throw a rock in the ocean. I'm like, he shot all of his he shot the air out, against the Lakers, man. So like I said, that was the matchup where I was just like, hey, if we don't meet them in the first round, then there ain't no point. I wanted to get it out the way instead of us going to Minnesota, building this hype up. We building this hype up just to go in the Western Conference Finals,
right,
and get smacked by Jokic again and them boys, because they had our number, man.
Right. So Colonel, hail to the most powerful black basketball player ever. I don't really like that, bro, because I'm wondering,
powerful black basketball player ever?
Like, okay, cool, great, powerful black basketball player. What is that getting his organization? He's destroying them from the inside. Why would we hail that? Secondly, here's my other thing. Yo, what up, Brandon? Good to see you, bro. What up, JB? Good to see you. Yeah, so why are we hailing that? Because I guarantee you, I don't have to know you to know that if it was a white basketball player doing that, you'd be up in arms about it. I don't like the hypocrisy that I'm seeing going on with a lot of my people in terms of, lauding LeBron for pulling all these strings like Geppetto, but really all he's doing is hurting his organization. And when other people of other demographics pull said strings, you got a problem with it. I can't feel that at all. I do not respect that. Ooh, okay. Man Down says if LeBron had real power, he wouldn't have condemned Kyrie when he was being harassed by the Brooklyn Nets and the NBA media. Wow. Yeah, no, that's a great point. He would have stood up for him on that. But see, we talk about all this power that LeBron has, and yes, he is powerful in terms of the NBA, but it's interesting he's powerful for himself, because to that other point, when Daryl Morey made his comments about China, LeBron was real quick to jump up and defend that. I thought that was interesting as well. So
LeBron is very strategic. All right, him and his camp, they're very strategic on when they're using their power and when to be like, you know what, this isn't the limelight we want to be in.
Right.
Digress. You know what I mean? That's just the team of LeBron. I mean, the team of James right there. Yeah. He doesn't put himself in situations to where he's like, okay, how can I come out on top? How can I win this? I'm not going to put myself in it. That whole Kyrie situation, that was just so much that it was just like, when it came to like, it was offending the Jewish community. That's one community you just don't talk about. And that's what LeBron was just like, oh, no. I'm not touching that. Like, I'm not touching that. It's more than LeBron that's pulling those strings. It's that boy has a whole team around him.
So absolutely. So Dominique, this is a great comment. And actually, I'm glad you're here, because when I listened to Man Down Sports from last night, I heard you make that call. I don't know if it was last night or earlier in the week. I think I heard you make that call, and I hope you don't mind. I clipped it to use it, because this is something that I had never looked at from the perspective under which you presented it, and I thought that it was an awesome statement. So I'm going to go ahead and play that now. So this is more towards LeBron using his quote unquote power for evil in terms of getting his son drafted when his son didn't deserve it. Check this out. This is a clip from Man Down Sports and Dominique making a call in, and she's one of the more astute callers on that show. So yeah, check it out.
What's going on, Dominique? What's your thoughts?
Oh man, this topic is crazy now. Honestly, I feel like we probably think a lot of the same thing on this, but I just think that, the shenanigans by these privileged athletes, it's going to have a chilling impact on the rest of Black America, because it becomes a part of like a stereotype that Black people can't succeed in the meritocracy. You know, that we need help to succeed. Like Bronny got help, and DEI then becomes a bad name due to placing, you know, LeBron James in a position to do this much damage from a family of 4 adults that have less than 12 months of a college education between all of them, and they're billionaires. So it's like, congratulations, LeBron. You just fed the stereotypes and the myths that form social barriers for the rest of us.
So that was a great call, Dominique. And let me be clear, as we put up there, Dominique is absolutely a panel member on Man Down Sports. You can catch her and the rest of the team on Man Down Sports Full Panel Fridays. And I just referred to her as a caller because I think that was one of his episodes where he didn't have the full panel, and she called in with those thoughts. And I thought that was just an outstanding perspective. And I had never even looked at it that way, because I'm one of those people that generally I try to look at things in terms of the basketball context. Sometimes I'll look a little bit outside of that, but I never even had thought about that. And that was really good. Let's see. Salute to the king. Are you on the payroll? Are you working for Clutch, Colonel? Because
who said that?
Colonel, none of these decisions affect the bottom line, so I have no reason to get up in arms about anything. Salute to the king. I don't know, people who talk that way, I always kind of picture them standing by the mailbox waiting for that check.
Like Hell Hitler.
No, real talk.
No.
We don't do that here. Nah, we don't do that. But no, in all seriousness, it's frustrating to me on a number of fronts, right? And again, I made it clear from the beginning of this segment that I have zero issue with Bronny, and I wish the young man a great deal of success. So I want to reiterate that. And I'm not being facetious when I say it. It's really true. I do want the guy to have success. But Sne, there you go. You said it very simply. This is about a player meddling with roster construction and harming the team's chances to succeed. And so I will say,
but what is he harming on the roster?
Well, so you could
team player don't do nothing in the playoffs anyway.
No, but that could be a spot for someone who you never know could have been somebody's spot who you never know could have ended up being a worthwhile contributor. You don't know that.
Now we're playing the could have been. I could have been 7 foot tall if my parents were 6'5" and 7.
But you don't know. And at the end of the day, like we talked about earlier, sports, much like lower enlisted in the military, is supposed to be the ultimate meritocracy, right? You do your thing, you bust your butt, and you earn what you get. And we know that he didn't do that. And for me, that's extremely frustrating. That's problematic. And we know that this is all about the show, you know? What we got? What about Thanasis? So I knew somebody was going to go there. So that's cool. So when Thanasis got drafted by the New York Knicks, the New York Knicks, not the Bucks, when Thanasis got drafted, Giannis was averaging 6 points per game. So we're going to make a false equivalency here as if Giannis went and got his brother drafted, which we know is not the case. So let's go ahead and stop that, because that's faulty. Yeah.
However, why does Giannis have a job?
So I understand that. I'm not saying that Giannis has not helped to keep his brother employed.
I'm like, Giannis is nowhere near deserving of a roster spot on that roster.
But the difference is, like I said, Giannis at least earned his way in, right? So I think that's a different situation. Giannis didn't pull strings to get Thanasis drafted. So I think that's an apples to oranges. That's not the same thing. And then you have guys. Yeah, absolutely, Brandon. You're right. If his last name wasn't James, we all know he wouldn't have been drafted. There's no question about that. I don't know that we have to. I don't know that why we have to continue to play this game as if everyone doesn't know that. It's bad juju in the locker room when a player is untouchable, but there's several other players getting cut and put on 10 days when they're actually better players. And I'll tell you what else is interesting. We know that historically, LeBron James is a guy who does not like young players. He doesn't like young players. Now, of course, that's his son. So is he going to treat his son like everyone else, or is he gonna treat his son with, obviously some favoritism? Of course, but we know historically LeBron does not like young players. So it's very disturbing to me that we're seeing all this, and so much of this is the Lakers not trying to win. And as a Celtics fan, that hurts me because I love the competition and I love it in the league when the Celtics and the Lakers are great at the same time, right? Again, I always want to beat them, but I want them to be great at the same time. It's better for basketball, right?
Okay.
And so here's one of the things. I'm frustrated because Bronny is taking spots at every turn, and it's disturbing, right? So check this out. I was listening to Up on Game on Fox Sports Radio earlier today with LeVar Arrington, TJ Houshmandzadeh, and Plaxico Burress, and something interesting that I had never heard before came up. So we're going to go ahead and play this, then we're going to come back and get into it. Check it out.
Prior to the season, we all know he had a heart attack, and he almost lost his life. Yeah. When you endure something so tragic, and it could end fatally, that just the recovery physically. We're not talking the mental recovery. We're talking just the physical part of it. You know how hard that was for him to bounce back from that? Because as you guys recall, or as you should recall, was he not going into his freshman year at USC rated as a lottery pick? Was he not?
That's cap. Come on, man.
No, it's
That's
no,
cap.
it's
He wasn't even, bro. He wasn't even. He was not even all. He was not even, bro. He was not even first team. He wasn't even first team here in California.
Listen,
he wasn't even first team all CIF in California.
Go look it up. Go look it up.
Let me give you a bit.
Go look it up.
He was not a lottery pick.
By the way, LeVar. Tim Hardaway told me tell you what's up, man.
Tell him what up, though.
He's a good man. That's a great man right there. But I will say this.
Hey, did I tell y'all the Tim Hardaway story?
Tim Hardaway told me. Tim Hardaway went on the airwaves and said this, that LeBron James actually called the McDonald's All-American Basketball Association and told them to put his son on the basketball team.
Listen, man.
True story.
Come on, why I got to be hating, though? Is it really
hating?
It
ain't hating.
TJ, how is it hating?
Listen,
you got to call them and tell them to put your son on the team?
That's crazy, right? So we knew that, obviously, Bronny has been getting some special treatment. He's been getting pushed through and all that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That's my first time hearing that.
And so I would assume that Tim Hardaway Sr. is pretty linked in on this stuff. And so if he said it, I would assume that that's going to be true. Because if he goes on the air and says that, it's very easy for somebody to fact check him on that. So he's not just going to make that up and put it out there. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt for that statement. And I think that's crazy, that you're going to put it out there publicly. So we know now he didn't deserve to be a high school All-American, right? A McDonald's All-American. We heard because LeVar Arrington lives out there in Cali, so he says he didn't make first team for whatever region that was. Okay,
in
so
Cali,
we know
California.
that, right? So we know that. So we know that, and then now obviously we know that, and again, recovering from that cardiac incident, major kudos to him and major props for that. But isn't that alone enough that we should know that how many teams are going to draft a player who is less than 1 year removed from a major cardiac incident? That alone is not going to happen. Then we can't forget that we heard Rich Paul on major sports media go out there and say, if we wanted to, we had just forced him to take him at 17. So we know what's going on here. It is absurd.
That was never going to happen.
You know what? I think if LeBron wanted it to happen, it would have happened. If they'd have
LeBron is strong, but LeBron ain't that strong.
Happen.
LeBron ain't that strong. He's not that strong. Because that'd have been stupid.
It would have been stupid, but
completely freaking stupid.
He could have made it happen.
I think he knows enough to be like, okay, because the 55th pick, you can get away with that. That you basically undrafted. You're six players away from being undrafted. Nobody cares about the 55th. Name me the 55th pick in the last 6 years. Name me the last 55th pick in the last 10 years.
No idea, bro.
20 years. You have no idea. It's a complete gamble. So when people say it's affecting the roster, how? Nobody cares about the 55th pick of the draft. Not only that, they've already announced that they're going to put him in the G League. I said that. He's going to the G League. He's going to the G League. So everybody's like, oh, he's taking a roster spot, yada, yada, yada. He's going to the G League. But
why isn't he? Why isn't he? That's somebody more deserving who's there that shouldn't be. Right? That's somebody. Why isn't he taking a spot? There's somebody more deserving who should be there that isn't because he is. Right? Viral Industries. What do you mean, bro? Is LeBron James? Are you crazy? Let me hear your thoughts on that. Go ahead, put it in the chat, man.
Who, Viral Industries?
Yeah, I'm not following what his comments are on that. But yeah,
he wasn't supposed to get drafted. But him signing guaranteed is taking a spot.
Oh, there you go. Right?
It's other 50-something picks getting signed guaranteed money. Are we talking about them?
Well,
no, we're not.
Isn't so there's a guy, I can't remember his name. I was reading about it earlier. He was first team all ACC this year, played for Pitt. 4 years in college, led the ACC in 3-point percentage, and he's also on the Lakers team, and he got some 2-year 2-way deal. Meanwhile, Bronny, who has not clearly done nearly as much as him, gets 4 years guaranteed. I'm just saying, we know what it is. Nino was good, man. I was wondering where you were. Okay.
Because Dwight's not in the league, they're still better than some players. I don't know why Dwight not in the league. Nino, I wanted him. Nino, don't get me started, Nino.
Yeah, Nino, that's a different discussion.
Delete that comment, Nino. That's going to light another fire, man. Delete that comment.
Here we go, Dominique. He has a 4-year contract when other guys that played like him would be absolutely. So let's talk about that a little bit. And again, let me say this. I didn't see most of that game. I saw the very beginning, then I got dragged to the store. So I didn't see most of that game. But I'm also not going to attack the young man for his first summer league game.
Because he's not. You want to talk about Bronny, right? Talk about Connect. What kind of game did Connect have? Connect was just as awful. So we're talking about game 1 roles of a rookie. Come on, man, miss me with that.
Yeah. No,
you don't know basketball. Let the man develop. These kids still need to develop. He's going to develop. Nobody ever said he was going to be implemented into the starting 5 or he's going to be a key hog in a championship run. He's on a roster about to throw an alley-oop to LeBron. After that, he's going to the league. It's done. We know what this is about.
Yeah, we will. We will. And so here's but see, the crazy part is we know what this is about, but cats are trying to play us like we don't have any sense, right? And so first, let's even get into that. So we talked a little bit earlier about LeBron and how he always plays the long game, right? So we heard about for years now how it's his dream to play with his sons. But now listen to what his son had to say about that.
People made a big thing about it. One time your dad was like, "Oh, it's like my dream to play with my son." But I don't know if anybody had ever asked you, did you ever dream about playing with your dad, for you, or what went to it from your perspective?
No, never. My dream has always just been to put my name out, make a name for myself. And of course, get to the NBA, which is never thought about just playing with my dad, but he's brought it up a couple of times. But yeah, I don't think about it much.
So that's the thing, right? So this is why I'm saying. Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna call 50-50 on that.
Okay.
Because one, when he was about 15, 16 years old, how old was LeBron James?
Was that 4 years ago? So about 35?
About 35, 36.
Yeah, right in there.
Bronny ain't thinking by the time he get to be 19, 20 years old. This man is in year 22 and still balling? Who saw that coming?
You don't think they talked about all that? You don't think they talked about that? Come on, man.
I'm pretty sure they talked about it. I'm pretty sure it wasn't in the focal. I'm going to be able to play with my dad. Nobody ever thought. Everybody wants to play with their dad, theoretically speaking. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure he was just like, I'm actually about to play with this man. This man is still, y'all ain't kicked this old man out the league yet. You know what I mean? So, but then a part of that, he is LeBron James Jr. He know how to lie good.
No, not necessarily.
Jr., man, he know how to lie good if he did.
Politically correct answer. He wants to show he's his own man. No, I don't believe that he wants to play with his dad. I really don't. I think he wants to make his own way. And that's a lot of spotlight. And how can he ever truly spread his wings and become his own man if he's playing under LeBron? I don't think he can. I don't see it. Nino, what you got here? My point is, it's all about the best players in the league. How come they're not? Politics is and always has been a part of league and life. Fair is a place with roller coasters. True. I heard fair is a place where they judge pigs. But same thing. But no. But see, Nino, the problem is, again, sports is supposed to be the meritocracy. If you go out there and do the work, you're supposed to be rewarded for that. And that's the problem. But okay. Viral Industries, Bronny just up there lying, being a robotic NPC. I don't know what that means, NPC, but
non-playable character. Okay. He plays a lot of RPG games. That's video game talk.
I got you. No, I don't think he's lying. I really think that he would rather get out from underneath his dad's wings and get out underneath all that spotlight. And it's crazy.
Because I think
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say he came out, he admitted that's not his dream, and I truly don't think it is. I think that's his father's dream. Let's go ahead and take this call. Let's see what that is. Let's take this call and then we'll get back to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Format Podcast. Who's this?
This is Dominique calling in. How's it going, Bruce?
Dominique, what's good? Good to hear from you.
Oh my God! Can I pause for just a second?
Hey, Dominique, hold on. B wants to say something. Go ahead, B.
I'm here.
Dominique,
talk to me nice.
I will, because first of all, I didn't know you were a lady. I called you bruh and man earlier. I apologize. I had no idea.
You don't have to apologize. Dominique,
you go ahead.
I could have been Dominique Wilkins.
Right.
That's why I'm like, I assumed you were a guy. There's no profile pic. So I'm like, but I just wanted to say that. Go ahead. Speak.
I appreciate you for clearing that up. I think one thing that's really important to notate here is that it is about race. I see folks in the comments saying that we're making it about race or we're making it about that. We're not making it about race. LeBron is one of the biggest Black leaders in America, right? He's a Black sports hero, and every decision that he makes could potentially change the course of how we do things in the future, right? So when we're talking about LeBron putting his son on the team, there's a couple of things that don't make sense that people are saying is, it's nepotism has happened, our whole lives. We see it in the front office. We see it with Giannis and Thanasis. What does Thanasis have to do with this? He wasn't made a draft spectacle. And worse, he wasn't interrupted during his thank you speech for being given an opportunity to be telling the American people that he deserved it, that he earned it.
And we're going to get to that.
Because that's what JJ Redick stepped in and said, hey, you earned this.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't earn shit. And we all know that, right? I mean, any guy that had a heart attack, or even fuck a heart attack, okay? Any kind of major injury that you face in college is getting drafted. Nobody's getting drafted after a heart attack, let alone, a serious injury. They're going to think, hey, you're not, you really shouldn't be coming into the league. We're not going to spend and invest in you. But LeBron never wanted to play with young players, right? He traded away Julius Randle when he got to the Lakers. He traded away Brandon Ingram, all these people. But all of a sudden, the Lakers are going to create a developmental program for players. That's what we have happening. And the bottom line here is that you can't inherit athletic success. That's not something that LeBron can pass down to Bronny, but we're seeing that they're going to try to manufacture his career. And let's be honest, what I'm going to say right now, the next thing is going to probably sound crazy to people, but the Lakers they've turned into the Kardashians.
That does not sound crazy at all.
They are the Kardashians. They're a talentless team. They have an 84-year-old LeBron. They have Anthony Davis, who plays sometimes well and sometimes not well. And then the rest of their team is just there to be spot-up shooters for LeBron because he has so many holes in his game. You think DeMar DeRozan wants to go to the Lakers?
No.
I don't think so. He's going to have to become a three-point shooter, which he's just not that person, right?
Yeah, that's not his game.
Then you have, Kobe Bryant is rolling over in his grave right now.
Facts.
He traded away Lamar Odom because he did not want he didn't want the Kardashians on his team. And now that's what the Lakers have become. Jeannie Buss has turned the Lakers into the Kardashians. That's why Magic Johnson wanted out of the organization. It's not being ran properly. And Rich Paul and LeBron, they're clearly not qualified to run an organization because they're just self-serving.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball is about teams. And now we see that teams, it's not even a thing anymore. It's all about the individual. It's all about how much money these players can squeeze out of the team. And I'm okay with that just because players are paycheck slaves, even though they've got golden handcuffs on them now. But when you really take a look at this league and what's happening, guys who are really good are not getting any credit. Guys who play as a team and, like really just want to win, that's not on display. It's the Kardashians, the reality show of the Lakers. That's what we're going to talk about every day. That's what LeBron wants. It's not nepotism. It's narcissism. It's a psychological issue. It's an issue of being uneducated and believing and trying to convince the American public that it's, this is so great because white people have been doing it for years. No, now what's going to happen is that, let's say Trump becomes in presidency, they're going to be taking a look at DEI programs, cutting them because, hey, we have Bronny, and LeBron's family benefiting from, just from being LeBron, LeBron, I think Mel even said it on Man Down the other day, like maybe the daughter can come into the NBA too.
Maybe what? Who?
I mean,
Zuri,
maybe she'll be, LeBron will retire and then come out of retirement and say, I just want to play with my daughter in the NBA. It's my long life dream, I just think it's really completely ridiculous that we're sitting here having to defend the fact that Bronny does not deserve a spot in the league and this much attention. So it's not just that. I don't think it's a problem that he's on the Lakers with LeBron. Let me just be clear in that. I'm not a Bronny hater.
Right.
I don't care that he's actually in the NBA. But yes, the 55th draft pick should not be getting this much attention.
Correct.
But it's LeBron James. That's where I disagree wholeheartedly.
But that's why he shouldn't be putting his child who just had a heart attack in this position. You're forcing your child to be in the NBA. He just had a heart attack. He played for USC like poop. What are we talking about? The best player on USC didn't get drafted, but Bronny did. That's a problem.
At the end of the day, he came back and
you know what? It's not a flex, though. I hear
that
you.
That is a huge flex for fatherhood.
This is not a flex. I'm going to tell you why it's not a flex.
No, it's not.
It's not a flex. If this was the movie industry, if this was the banking industry, if this was literally the industry of owning a team. So if LeBron was owning a team and put his son in the front office, that's a flex. You want to know why? Because there's no more black ownership. That's a flex. But we are the best athletes. And what he did was he took an opportunity from one of his own. He took an opportunity from us. He didn't take an opportunity from some white guy that, was balling out there. That didn't happen. And especially as now what we're seeing, the league is 70% black, where it used to be 100%. Like, these European players, the league is trying to phase us out. They're saying we don't want more of this. We don't want the American black athlete, who is the best athlete still, to continue to take over this league. They are going to do everything that they can to make sure that LeBron doesn't own anything. He's going to have to be a part of an ownership group. I doubt that he's going to be able to solely own a team the way that Michael Jordan did. They don't want you. He's going to have to get all his kids in the NBA. Okay? But this is not a flex. He's just putting his son to be a paycheck slave, and he doesn't have to be because he was born rich. So all he did was take an opportunity. LeBron was once that guy. He was poor, right? Supposedly. So he was poor. He grew up. He needed, black people use the league and the NFL and all the other sports, leagues in order to create generational wealth for his family. And LeBron took that opportunity from another poor black kid in bumblefuck wherever, okay, that needed this. That needed that $1 million a year just to get his mom out of the hood. Mm-hmm. But LeBron doesn't care about that.
Nope. He cares about himself.
Cares about himself and trying to assert himself as the GOAT when nobody believes that. Nobody's going to believe it. It doesn't matter how many narratives he puts out there. It doesn't matter how many media people he pays off. And additionally, he's even further, he's an Uncle Tom. I mean, let's just call it what it is. He is an Uncle Tom. He has fired multiple black coaches. He's fired multiple black coaches. Mike Brown, I think someone said it in the comments, directly after he was coach of the year.
Yep.
He got him clipped. Mm-hmm. He got Darvin Ham fired.
Yep. All
to do what? To hire a white guy that also didn't need the opportunity. That had a famous, podcast that's been going viral for years now. He not only did he just give him the job, he also started a podcast with him. so that he can continue to spread lies.
He fired Frank Vogel and got Darvin Ham, so I don't get that. That doesn't make sense. He fired the European coach and got Tyronn Lue. He's black, so that doesn't make any sense at all.
What doesn't make any sense? That he's an Uncle Tom?
Yeah,
what B is saying is that
coach, like he's had white coaches fired to hire black coaches. That doesn't make sense.
For LeBron, he doesn't even recognize that's his lack of education. He doesn't even recognize the fact that when you get a black coach fired to bring in a white one, what that looks like and what that does. And the fact that
white coaches too
literally was not. Yes, he's just hiring anybody that's going to do his bidding.
Right, that's going to play along with his program.
It might not be racially motivated, but I'm telling you that it has a domino effect of having an impact on race and our racial relations. Absolutely. Because when you go ahead and put an unqualified white coach as your head coach of the Lakers, a storied franchise where, you know, this is a coveted role that multiple people are going after, multiple people with experience like Mark Jackson, like Ty Lue, he was actually somebody that interviewed, I think it was last season or right before Darvin Ham became the coach. You had Sam Cassell, Rajon Rondo. These are people who actually won a title, not a serial loser like JJ Redick. Not someone who was never won in college, didn't win in the NBA. He won nothing. He wasn't even a successful role player. Why and how is he qualified to coach the Lakers? When you have people who actually won titles and championships that were interviewing for that job. And don't tell me that nobody wanted it. Plenty of people want that job.
That's the Lakers job.
JJ Redick was given the job because he coached 9-year-olds, and LeBron believes that he's the best coach to develop his trash son. And I am going to talk bad about Bronny because he's not a good NBA player, and he's pretending.
That's not on him. I don't think he deserves it. He doesn't deserve it.
It's absolutely on him. He's an adult.
He doesn't deserve it.
But was he?
So Dominic, and he didn't play well, and I'm going to critique him just like I would anybody.
So that's fair. That's fair. But to bash him, that's not fair.
So let me ask you this, Dominic.
Bashing. This is my opinion. I'm not bashing. I'm not disrespecting him. I'm just letting you know that he is wearing a costume and doesn't belong in the NBA.
So Dominic, let me ask you this.
That's different than calling them names, though.
Hold on, B. Hold on.
I'm not calling him a name. I didn't call him a name. I'm telling you that he's wearing a costume. He's wearing the same costume that Ben Simmons is wearing.
Oh, wow. Let me ask you this, Dominic.
NBA players wearing a costume. Bronny's another one of them.
So if you damn, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I lost my train of thought. I thought I lost what I was going to ask you. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Like I'm not bashing a kid. He's in the NBA. He's not a kid. He's an adult. He's 19 years old, and he has no business being here. And I'm going to speak on that. And that's exactly what LeBron is banking on. The narratives that people are just hating on Bronny because he's like Caitlin Clark. Let me tell you, Caitlin Clark was the top, player in college. And look, I call her CC0. I don't think she was that great, but she was way better than Bronny. I'd put her on the Lakers before Bronny.
And get killed.
I think
she can shoot the ball. Did we see him shooting bricks? He has a slow release. He doesn't even have the potential to get better.
He won't be able to shoot the ball when she gets checked.
You're assuming that he's going to the G League, and he's not going there. Do you think LeBron?
They've already stated it that he's going to the G League.
Yeah, they did say that. We got that clip.
We're gonna play that in a bit. They already stated that. He's going to the G League. We know that.
He's going to the G League to train. He's not going to come back in a Lakers uniform.
Oh no. Oh, he will. He will.
Starting lineup.
Oh yeah. That's the point of the G League.
He's going to the G League to train for this during the off season.
Right. So we got the clip, and we're gonna play that shortly from Woj when he's talking about.
Things. He's not relegated to the G League.
Correct.
So let's be clear.
Correct.
Let's not create a false narrative that he's relegated to the G League.
Yeah, that's not happening.
He has a 4-year guaranteed contract with the Lakers. He's guaranteed at minimum to have a seat on the bench at the end of the bench, but he's going to have a seat there. Okay. And he will be on the floor. He will be playing. We're going to be forced to see that.
We're going to witness the alley-oop, and we're going to praise hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Well, I just want to thank you guys. What'd you say?
No. I was saying I appreciate your feedback, Dominique. Thank you for the call. I liked it because, like I said, that's why I played your clip from Man Down Sports the other night because you presented it in a way that I had not previously considered. So we definitely appreciate you calling in and giving your feedback on that.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. It was really wonderful to listen and be a part of the comments as well.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, put that frying pan down. I think Luka's all burned up, man.
He's still talking.
Luka, along with several of the other European players, I think Giannis is probably the most athletic, but he's the least skilled. They cannot run, jump, or dunk the ball. They should not be in the NBA. They need to go back to Europe and develop their game. They can't play defense. That's why we have no defense. It's because of them, because they can't take the hit. They can't move their feet. They can't run or jump the ball or dunk the ball. That's what we see.
You know what's funny?
Long before they got here.
That's exactly what Gilbert Arenas said on Gil's Arena. And everybody thought he was joking, but he was serious when they were talking about the defense issue. And he was like, get all the Euros up out of here.
It's a fact. They need to take the traveling back to Europe. We don't need to adopt their style. We don't need that nonsense. We need athleticism. We need high-flying dunks. We need folks that can shoot the ball, dribble, penetrate into the paint. We need to get back to, where all 5 positions are valued, because that's real basketball. That's team basketball. That's what I want to see. That's why I'm watching the WNBA. That's why women's college basketball was way more exciting this year than all of basketball. The totality of basketball, whether it was NBA, men's college, women's college basketball beat all of basketball this year because they play all 5 positions and they actually really play the strongest fundamentals of the game.
Fair enough.
I agree, because the Eastern Conference messed that up for all of NBA. When Embiid went down, Giannis goes down, Boston walks through the East, and then nobody wants to see Boston.
Hey man, hey, you went too far, bro.
Listen, all of the Europeans are lacking in their game. You have Embiid, who would prefer to shoot perimeter shots instead of attacking the paint. You have Luka, who shows up to the NBA with a dad bod, just like James Harden. I mean, you can't win like that. You can't. And until he gets himself into shape, he won't make it back to the final.
Fair enough. Let me speak to something else that you said earlier, Dominique, that I think maybe is causing a bit of consternation, right? And I think some people are taking it as you are having that you're taking a shot at how a black man is raising his son. And, I'm a black man and I have a son, and this is something that's bothersome to me because I've said it in my personal discussions with other people on this issue and publicly. This whole business of how a black man is raising his son, it really irks me. It really irks me because, first of all, that's like saying we're a monolith and black men can only raise their son one way. So that needs to stop. We need to stop thinking black people can only do things a certain way, or they're not black, or they're not black enough. We need to get rid of that crap. So that's one. 2, I have a son, as I said, and I do not believe in just handing my son things. He needs to know the value of things and things that are earned, and how when you earn something, it means more to you, and how when you have to earn it, you will work harder for it. Now, again, I'm not taking a shot at Bronny, but the fact is, he didn't earn this, and we'll hear the clip of that shortly after this call. But he didn't earn this, and everyone knows he didn't earn it. And say again, I'm sorry.
He knows he didn't earn it.
He knows he didn't earn it.
He didn't earn it.
Correct. And so it's frustrating to me that when we comment on this, it's why are you talking about how another black man is raising his son? So am I raising my son wrong because I don't believe that I should hand him something? I'm a black man. Am I less of a black man for doing it? Like, this is absurd, and we've got to stop thinking like this. I really don't like it.
Absolutely not less of a black man. It's a lack of education, and people try to conflate things with other things that have nothing to do with anything. I'm totally fine if LeBron wants to hand his son multiple things. He's rich. He can spend his money how he pleases. He can get his son any opportunities that he wants. But when you take a look at what happened with Bronny in the draft, it's no different from what happened with the 2010 decision. And that's why people can't stand LeBron. He is not a real person. Okay. He is a narcissist, and he has psychological issues that can't be solved on the court, and it can't be solved off the court. Okay. He needs to figure out how the person that he is. He needs to be genuine. People respect authenticity.
That's a fact. And everybody really thinks he's phony.
Being yourself.
Yeah.
Instead of saying things that don't make sense, lying to the American public, we expect the truth. Like we really do respect the truth. We do. And I believe that his fans are completely delusional. Comparing this to how a black man raises his son, no one's saying that Bronny James can't have a job. No one's saying that he can't have a job in the NBA. Okay? But it's the spectacle around it. Right. It's making it seem like he's like literally we celebrated his 55th draft pick. Drake brought him out. That's what happened. Drake brought him out.
What?
We celebrated him like he was a first round pick. Like he was the number 1 draft pick.
Right.
And he wasn't best in high school.
Correct.
Does we talked about that. Yeah. That he went from being a 55th recruit to all of a sudden they're saying that he was 19. His junior year he was ranked 55.
Right. And we heard.
And then every week he went up to 4. Then he went up to 45. And then all of a sudden he's on the McDonald's team.
Yeah.
Which needs to be investigated.
Well, we heard.
Let's be for real.
I don't know if you heard it earlier. I don't know if you heard it earlier. I played the clip from Up on Game earlier today, and Plaxico Burress was saying that Tim Hardaway told him, matter of fact, said on air that LeBron called the McDonald's people and got him on the team. So
of course he did, and LeBron openly said that he was going to make these phone calls. So that's the one thing. Like LeBron's not hiding it that he's going to make these phone calls.
Right.
LeBron's not hiding it that he wants Bronny to play with him. He's openly said that. He's openly doing these things. It's the idea that he earned it. It's the idea that he was better than guys that were playing with him last year. Because that's what he said, that Bronny is qualified to suit up for the Lakers right now. He's better than most of the guys in the league right now.
Right. That's what he tweeted. That is correct.
So when you say things like that, you're putting a target on your own son's back. He's not no Caitlin Clark. Don't compare him to that.
Right.
Because you are putting the target on his back. Not fans, not the media, you. Nobody cared about Bronny James.
No, that's
Bryce
a fact.
James
because
is probably better than both of them.
Yeah.
When I watch Bryce, I see him shooting from anywhere.
Bryce got the build to be better.
Off the ball. He doesn't need a high screen to start his offense. Okay? He's better than both of them. Opinion.
No, I hear you on that.
But we're sitting here making Bronny James a spectacle, a draft spectacle.
Yeah.
And every day we're gonna have to talk about him as though he was Kim and Kanye. He's a Kardashian.
No,
and that's what LeBron
right.
is turning into. His career has been over since 2016. And
whoa. Excuse me.
Man, don't even start with the. Don't even start with the
a championship is a championship, baby.
No, Dominique, I'm gonna tell you something here that's my personal thought. If you don't think like every other black person and you don't worship someone that another black person thinks you should, apparently you hate black excellence. So I'm gonna just leave that there. I'm not. That's a whole nother.
Look, I want everybody to know that I love black excellence. I love the idea of LeBron giving Bronny opportunities to further his legacy and all of that. I just think that he could have done anything. If he gave him a production company and we started to see more, black produced TV shows and movies and all of those things, I'd be very happy. But sports is the one place. It's the one and only place where your success is earned. It's the only place where your success is earned. So Bronny is not going to be able to inherit athletic success from LeBron.
Yeah, I feel
he's making a mockery of the NBA and a complete joke of the Lakers. And he doesn't deserve a statue there or anything. They need to move away from him because they're not even making any money from this. That's the best part of it all, is they're not even making any money. Winning always makes money. It doesn't matter what franchise you have, whether you're in LA or whether you're in Bumblefuck. You win, and that's going to have sold out arenas, and that is what's going to bring your organization success, is winning.
That's what I always thought, but apparently it's not like that anymore.
Lakers fans are disgusted. LeBron can't even go. LeBron can't even play without a fan in the crowd calling him a bitch or a pussy or something like that, and then he's crying on court and getting people ejected.
And that, you know what, to that point, I thought it was very interesting because there's going to be people who are going to be, especially on the road, who's going to talk greasy to Bronny and LeBron's going to be grabbing the ref, pulling him over there, pointing him out to try and get him thrown out of the game. And all that is part of what Bronny has to learn to deal with. But again, he can't. It's going to be very difficult for him to
be removed from the crowd. When they start chanting that Bronny sucks, these people are going to be removed from the crowd. They might just go ahead and the Lakers might just decide to make it like 2020 again, where there's no fans.
Wow. Well, that's one thing I'll say about Lakers fans. They're always. I don't think that's ever going to be an issue. But Dominic, let me let you go.
It's never going to be an issue.
Carry on with this. You got a lot to say, and we really appreciate it. Great insight. Thank you so much for calling. Stick around because we got a little bit more before we close it down for the night to tidy up this topic.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Great show tonight, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So
alrighty, bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
So Dominique made a lot of outstanding comments. We definitely I rather enjoyed watching her and the Transformer go back and forth. That was entertaining. Not really go back and forth.
I got a rebuttal.
Yeah, definitely. And so, a lot of good stuff there. So where were we? So one of the things that you talked about, Transform, was that the G League. And this is something I never thought that LeBron would allow his son to end up in the G League. But Woj, NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski for ESPN, is reporting the following. How true it is, I do not know, but this is what he's reporting. So let's check that out. We'll come back and talk about it.
And for more on the Lakers, we welcome in our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. So what are people saying about the realistic expectations for Bronny?
Well, what the Lakers' expectations are is that he'll largely be a G League player, like almost any 19-year-old player coming in the league drafted in the second round. I think what you'll ultimately probably see is Bronny James in the first week of the season on the court with his father in a very, I don't want to call it ceremonial, but it's going to, the eyes of the world will be on that. They'll do that the first week of the season, but there's no expectation Bronny James is going to be in the Lakers rotation. He'll spend a lot of his time playing with their G League team, which shares a practice facility with the Lakers.
All right, so
that's accurate.
Well,
of a speculation, not saying like
right.
But that's the accurate projection of what's going to happen. We're going to bring Bronny in. We're going to have this whole moment of father-son duo, first ever in the NBA. Blase, shed your flowers. People had their tears. People have their cheers and everything to say. It becomes a media spectacle. After that, he's going to the G League.
All right, so first,
no, he's not ready.
First to your point, it is a media spectacle and it's all about the show, which is disturbing to me because the Lakers understood that the show was a vital part of this. They've always understood the entertainment value, but they put winning first because with winning comes the entertainment, right? It's really hard to be entertained by a bad losing product. And so this is where it's disturbing to me. And like we talked about earlier, like us as being, basketball rivals, Lakers, Celtics, we both want to see each other be outstanding products on the floor because we know it's better for basketball. It's better for the NBA, I should say. And so the Lakers at this point, they're so busy kowtowing to LeBron that they don't understand that trying to have a winning product would be the key, right? And so we see here that they want to have Bronny, what do you say, the first week or the first few games or whatever?
Yeah,
they want to have Bronny out there. Right. Why? Because they can sell number 9 Lakers jerseys, right, Bronny?
Absolutely.
Why? Because they can sell tickets at a higher rate. LeBron and Bronny be a part of history, right? First guy ever to play with his son in the NBA, right? Why? Because they know that it's going to be a mega event the first time that Bronny throws that alley-oop and LeBron catches it, or vice versa, right? We know all of that. And like I've always talked about, this has always been about LeBron. I keep saying it, but it's always been about LeBron, and we're going to see that. And so let me make something of an analogy here, or attempt to. This is a situation where, let's say I own a company. I'm the CEO or the owner of the company. And I bring my son in and I say, hey, son, I want you to come work in the front office of my company for 2 weeks. And then I pull him out and then I send him to business school. Isn't that a little backwards? Shouldn't I send him to business school first? In this analogy, the G League, and then you come and you play, or then you come and work for me? Like, shouldn't you learn your craft first?
We know what the world wants to see.
Does the world really want to see it?
Of the coin now. They're looking at both sides of the coin. The 55th pick always goes to the G League. All right, but this is more of like, hey, this is our era's GOAT. For the last 20 years, this man has been dominating this game. This is a ceremonious act. First father-son to ever play at the same time. We want to see, the world wants to see that. Like, damn, man, we've never seen it in the NBA. We saw Ken Griffey do it with Ken Griffey Jr. We saw that, right?
That's not the same because Ken Griffey Jr. was the one who was better, right? He was the better player, and his father didn't get him drafted. Like, he earned that because he was an outstanding phenom in the sport. So that's not an apropos analogy. Like, that's not apples to apples at all.
But what I'm saying is,
what you got?
It's LeBron James we're talking about. The media wants to see this. The work, like, it's something, such a phenomenon. We saw Bronny when he was first born.
Yeah,
the baby that he carried on the court, right? Mm-hmm. And to see him grow up to be a full adult and his father still being in the game, they're still trying to make that the focal point. That's why I'm not too upset. Money said they want to make their money by any means, right? Lakers want to make their money. Yes. Well, the media wants to make the NBA wants to make its money.
When they make more money. So listen, I'm a Celtics fan, but I know the Lakers are a bigger brand. You'll never hear me say that again.
Absolutely, biggest brand in
right. NBA. No question, right? I can't argue that with you. It is what it is, right? So that being said, the Lakers should, or at one point understood, that winning makes the most money. Why does winning make you the most money? Because you have long playoff runs, right? With a lot of home games, right? So that means you're selling more tickets, and you're dealing with that, right? You're selling more tickets. You have more home playoff games. You got parking. You got paraphernalia. You got food and all that stuff, right? All this money that you're generating from that. And then, of course, if you win, you can sell all the winner merch and blah, 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 right? So the winning is the way that you make the most money. Then you add the show on to that. You don't replace winning with the show. Magic, Mr. You know what I'm saying? Magic, Mr. Always cheesing, always out there doing his thing, right? But guess what? He was out there to cut your throat to win. Am I right? Because he understood what came first. Again, I'm going to use the quote that I love from him from NBA Superstars too. You play this game for 3 reasons: to win, to have fun, and to make people happy. You see what he put first? Why do you think he's so disgusted with this whole thing? Because they're not about winning. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Let me go ahead and take this call. Sneed, what you got, my man? Hello?
Bruce.
What's good, Sneed? What you got, man?
Hey, man, when do we get to start evaluating GM LeBron? When do we get to start doing that?
Well, listen, I've already been for years.
Technically, he's successful 3 times.
This is terrible.
All right, let's do it. Let's line up some of the moves. Let's talk about some of the calls he made, some of the roster decisions he made. Let's start evaluating all of his moves. This is one of them, right? He had a son drafted, so we'll evaluate that once Bronny has played out his career. We'll see how that was a good draft pick, right? But let's talk about LeBron, the GM. Let's talk about those moves.
The GM. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and try to break down that whole thing. I'm just gonna say a lot of people love the fact that LeBron has power and that he's flexing it, man. Fantastic. But I'll say this, and I've said this before. What I am anxious to see is LeBron James, when he becomes an owner, because we know he will become an owner, and he gets a player, because he wants to stack teams, so he's going to try and get the best player, and that player wants to flex his muscles for the organization. Then we're going to see how much LeBron James really and truly believes in player empowerment. That's what I'm waiting to see. I'm not going to run down all that. Go ahead.
I believe that Dominique is going to be right. I believe Dominique's point about him not truly having the opportunity to own a team, but having to be in an ownership group. I think that is a high probability. I think she's going to be right. I don't know. You got here's one of the things that we have to remember. These owners of these teams are old white dudes.
They are.
And we know about the checkered past between owners, and you can go across any sport. It doesn't even have to just be the NBA.
Right.
I mean, we can go back to Donald Sterling. We could talk Donald Sterling. Right? That's not unique. There are 30 other Donald Sterlings. You know what I'm like? That's not an exaggeration. You saw what happened in Phoenix. And people said the same thing about Dan Gilbert in Cleveland when he wrote that letter and all those things about LeBron. So it's not going to be easy. I don't think he has endeared himself.
Dan Gilbert was a GM.
The way that Michael Jordan perhaps did when he became the owner of the Bobcats. Wasn't it the Bobcats at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that was pretty seamless. I don't think it was difficult for Jordan to become an owner of a team like I think LeBron's going to find the troubles with.
Yeah, I don't know. I think LeBron he's huge. He's big for the NBA. He's got the money. I think he's going to be a majority owner. I do. I really believe that.
Especially if they do another expand, create another team.
Yeah, and I think he's got his eyes on that Las Vegas franchise.
He's going to be first dibs.
I believe so.
So we all agree it's going to have to be a new team. Nobody's going to sell him their team.
Yeah, no, I don't.
No. It's got to be a new team.
Yeah, it's going to definitely have to be a new team. If they do an expansion, Bron is going to be the first one.
Yeah, I think he's eyeing the Las Vegas franchise because there will be a franchise in Vegas because too much money not to. So, yeah,
it's a big time market. I mean, it's definitely deserving of a team because
it's got everything else, right? It's got football now.
Support it. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's got NFL. It's got I think NFL. It's got NHL. It's got
a baseball team out there, right?
Baseball.
Yeah, and there's winning.
No,
there's winning on those teams too.
Yeah.
They win chips.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
Aces what, back to back?
Aces back to back. Golden Knights won last year, not this year, but the previous year. And then obviously the Raiders are the Raiders, so they'll always have a following.
Nobody shows out like Vegas when it comes to travelers.
Correct.
10 million unique visitors per week.
There you go. That's crazy.
Vegas is gonna be Vegas.
That's crazy. All right, Snead, you got anything else, man? Let's go ahead and tighten up this topic.
Good show.
I appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much for calling.
Yeah, this was a good one right here, boy.
Oh, this is a very good one. This is a very good one. All right, so getting back to this topic before we close it out, we still got a couple more things to talk about. So we talked about the fact that it's not Bronny's dream to play with his dad, and that's again reinforcing the point that I've always said, that this is about LeBron, and Dominique's point that it's about his narcissism, not nepotism, and I really like how she phrased that as well. Bronny starts with and then we talked about my surprise in Wojnarowski reporting that Bronny may end up in the G League following some, high profile opening season appearances. But this is one of the ones that really kind of irked me. And this is JJ Redick. And have you noticed, like, I know you've listened to a lot of his public speaking as Lakers head coach so far. He's got this tone, and I didn't notice it as much on first take, but when I noticed it here, and obviously,
like he's an asshole.
Yeah, like I'm so much smarter than all of you, and you guys are all idiots, right?
Smart asshole.
Right, like I get it. You're a smart guy. You went to Duke, good school. You're there 4 years, got a real degree, all that. Cool. You were under one of the greatest coaches of all time, Coach K. Respect all of that. But and you worked in the media for a number of years, so you're familiar with how all this goes. But he's not even pretending. Like the smugness is really rubbing me the wrong way. And
but the thing about it, he's been like that though.
Yeah, but it seems even worse now.
First take, I'll be thinking sometimes he about to smack Stephen A across the face when I
don't know. I think it's even worse now. But we heard at the introductory rookie press conference when I don't have this clip, pardon me, when Bronny said he wants to thank JJ and Rob for what they gave him, right? What they gave him.
And then he cut him off
because he knows what it is, right? So check this out. This is what JJ had to say following it, and it's two things I want to point out. The word salad that he uses towards the end of this, again, trying to confuse everyone, and then the flat out lie that he tells towards the beginning. So check this out. We'll come back and discuss it.
With Bronny, I want to clarify one thing you just said, which is Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned this, right? Bronny talks about his hard work. Bronny has earned this through hard work. And for us, prioritizing player development, we view Bronny as like case study 1, because his base level of feel, athleticism, point of attack defender, shooting, passing, there's a lot to like about his game. And as we sort of build out our player development program holistically, he's going to have a great opportunity to become an excellent NBA player.
So, all right. So you heard the first part where
correct.
Flat out.
Somebody's going to type it. Somebody's going to type it. Politically correct. Go ahead.
So the first part where he flat out lied, oh well, he wasn't given anything, he's earned it. Like, come on, we're not dumb. We know what this is, right? And then number 2, what the hell was all that word salad about the holistic and player development program and all? Yep. Since when has LeBron James ever cared about player development? He doesn't. But what was that whole word salad? Right. But he never has, though. He's always tried to get, for the most part, get young players up out of there and get established veterans that he thought could help him win, right? But even beyond all that, what is this? What was he talking about with the player development program and case study number 1 and holistically and all that? Like, what you're trying to do is spin it so that people don't know what you're talking about by design. Stop it.
So for my Lakers hat is on, right?
Yes.
I think this is the twilight. This is the twilight. Like, LeBron is about to be out of here. So we need to now take that mindset of like, okay, LeBron needed veterans. LeBron needed this. Now we need to get back to what builds franchises better. Player development. Younger, like getting these picks, developing our own players and not necessarily trading them away. I think that's what JJ Redick is kind of pointing to, that LeBron is just not going to say. Because LeBron has always been one way. Get these young boys out of here. Give me the veterans. I'm trying to help us win a championship. LeBron is
no. I need them to help me win a championship. You totally misphrased that.
What did I say?
Get these young boys out here. Get me these veterans. I need them to help me win a championship. Not I'm trying to help them win a championship. That ain't how it works. Nah.
Help them win a ring too. They all get a ring, bro.
No. You know what I'm saying.
Gonna win without Bron.
No, all right, but let's go ahead, man. Let's go ahead.
Besides the point, right? But in my synopsis, and this is me wearing both hats, because one, JJ Redick's an asshole. He's going to curve every question and become politically correct. He's been in the media, so that boy knows how to. He knows how to speak. He knows how to speak. But what I heard is what people have been trying to say and what they want the Lakers to be. He's just now saying it. LeBron is on his way out the door. That's pretty much what I'm hearing. LeBron is on his way out the door. He signed a 1-year deal, in which I say it's a 1-year deal because it's a 1-and-1. It's a 1 with a player's option. But he's on a 1-year deal. He's out the door. We need to get back to what winning is like, what building a franchise is like, what developing players is like. So that's what I heard. That's what I heard as a Laker fan. Player development. We're preparing for the exit of LeBron James. All right. What's after LeBron James? We have to develop. We have to get these guys in a system, bring these guys up, nurture these guys, and see who's going to be the next greatest either role player, a star, a superstar, whatever the case may be. So I think that's what he's alluding to. I get what people are saying, the way LeBron has played for the first 21 years. We're in 22. We're in year 22. We can't keep putting that back on Bron. Well, Bron always needed veteran players. That's back when he was 38 and younger. The man's going on 40. We have to eventually look at the future and developing these players, because this man is in his twilight. He just signed a 1-year deal. We got to prepare for his exit. We have to. So that's what I saw when he mentioned player development. Other than that, the rest of that was just wordplay. That boy was good with his words. The rest of that is role play.
It absolutely was.
You know what I mean? So that's what I saw from it.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a great comment. LeBron had the power to get Mark Jackson into coaching again, but clearly he doesn't want to use it for that, right? So
Mark Jackson. I think there's something against Mark Jackson.
Oh, clearly.
I think there is, because nobody's giving him a job. It's not just LA. I'm not gonna. I mean, I get what he's saying that Mark Jackson was available, but Mark Jackson been available for a lot of franchises. There's a lot of times he's been skipped over. I think it's something that he did. When he was in Golden State,
there's something he allegedly did. There's something he allegedly did. We'll talk offline.
And I think that's the reason why he ain't got that job. So I used to be one to bat, but I started looking at it. I'm like, yo, it's something Mark Jack did, because there's no way we're just letting him just sweeping him under the rug like he just didn't, do what he did in Golden State. So, but yeah, I get what he's saying though. JJ unqualified. I was on the Hurley bandwagon. I was with Atkinson. I was more on the side of Rondo. Yet Rondo has never coached before, but Rondo has won with both franchises.
Yeah.
He's a championship guy. You know what I mean? I would have understood that more. Right?
And remember, like point guards, it's always different because point guards are older and they understand the game better.
Floor generals. They know how to circle the team together. Like, I'm calling the play. I'm running the offense. JJ never ran the offense. JJ was never the focal point of the team. JJ was never top 5 on his team. I mean, I can't say top 5. He was probably he was in the top 5. He was on the starting lineup. But you know what I'm saying? He was never the focal point of the team. So at that point, I'm like, okay, what are we getting? What are we getting? That's what's frustrating me about my Lakers. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing right now? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, granted, we're making LeBron happy. Braun was actually happy with Hurley. LeBron called Hurley himself, like, hey, yo, look. You know what I'm saying? Had that conversation. So I'm not
that wasn't going to last long. Even if Hurley took that job, that was not going to last long. You know why? Hurley he's a tough coach. He's a screamer. He's a yeller. Gino Auriemma, the great Gino Auriemma, arguably the greatest women's coach of all time. He was on an interview and said that Bobby Hurley runs his program. Dan Hurley runs his program at UConn the same way he ran his high school program. You think LeBron is going to have that? And then especially if you have a tough coach is going to get on Bronny, and LeBron is not going to be having that either. So nah, he make it sound good. He was down with Dan Hurley. That wasn't going to happen. Nope. And if it did, Dan Hurley, well, correction, it could have happened because they offered Dan Hurley the money, but Dan Hurley wasn't going to last. And remember, J.R. Smith put that tweet out, don't fall for it. So, he knows a lot about, working in close quarters with LeBron. No Diddy. He knows a lot about that. So
that was a good No Diddy. Boy, good one. That was a good one.
I had to catch it.
No good catch, man. No Diddy.
All right, but look, let's do this, man. We've been running for almost 3 hours here.
I'm gonna hit this long, ain't it?
Great calls, really enjoyed it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say this before we get up out of here. One, I really appreciate everybody who stuck around for this one. This was a long one. I really appreciate everybody chiming in the chat. I appreciate those of you who called. If you haven't already, no matter where you're watching and listening, if you haven't already, please go to the YouTube page. Click that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Really need that. It helps the show grow. Really appreciate it. And we're going to do this Saturday night is a regular, and we try to get in during the week as well, Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to shoot for Wednesday this week, so we'll see. Probably we'll have another live this Wednesday. Again, if you love the show, man, please make sure you're telling other sports fans about it. As you can tell here, we are not just repeating the ESPN and Fox Sports 1 talking points. We are not about that. We're going to keep it 100. We're going to tell it how we see it. We have intelligent people in the chat, intelligent people who call in, and they're going to tell it how they see it, and we appreciate all of that. So thank you so much for being with us tonight, and we are going to let it go from here. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, and we're out. We'll be back next time. Peace.
Y'all be easy.